What's up, Muscle and Strength? I'm Carlos Thomas Jr., and today we're at the training center. We're hitting some back. We have a stand-in, like, pullover basically. And these are like the Vulcan straps here. So instead of doing it with a rope, regular rope, or just like a straight bar, I kind of feel like I could really put my hands in the sleeves here and really take out any forearm or like bicep, tricep that gets involved like with this motion. So I could really just pull down with my lats, squeeze, come back up, nice and controlled, squeeze. So that's the reason why we're using this strap here. So you'll see how I'll kind of marry the two here. We'll start to increase the volume as the workout goes on. We're gonna do the isolateral DY row here, and we're gonna do one arm at a time and really focus on just the contraction and a 3-second eccentric, getting a good stretch at the bottom, and then coming back, and again, 3-second eccentric. So we got 8 to 12 reps here, and then the last set, we're gonna do a double drop set. My back is my weak body part, so I try to really connect with it. So to me, it's not really about how much the load I'm using. So I really just try to focus on the contraction and the stretch. So, and I also use these like hooks just to take my forearm and my bicep out of the movement. I have a habit of clenching my jaw, squeezing my jaw a lot when I'm training. So I've cracked a couple teeth and had to get some crowns, and they're expensive. So the doctor was like, look, unless you want to pay more money, get a mouth guard. And it definitely helps because I find myself really clenching down when you're trying to squeeze, heavy movements, rows, squats, deadlifts. So if you're someone like me, try a mouth guard. I think it'll help out. That's good. I find like when you're like doing more of this, you know what I mean, you're only getting like upper back, you know what I mean, rear delt. So when you're able to kind of pull back with the lat a little bit, you're hitting more lat, I feel like, when you're doing like this, opposed to just right here. So that makes sense. This versus this, you know what I mean? Even the feeling's different. If you pull here, you're not feeling any of this, that lower part. So if you try to pull here, you get a little bit of extra lat in there. now that we're kind of getting to the meat of the off season, like things are starting to progress forward. I'm happy about that because the worst thing I feel like is kind of just standing still, right? Feel like you're not doing anything, not progressing. So, you know, we're back into the off season. Well, we're into the off season now, progressing, moving forward. So I'm very happy about that. Do I want to get back on stage? Yeah, but all things in time, you know, because I know when I get back on stage, it's going to be undeniable. So we're here at the T-Bar next. We're gonna do a lock and load. So we're gonna do, basically what it is, we'll start with one plate, hit 5 reps, and then increase by a plate until we can't get 5 reps, but we might throw a quarter on just to see how it feels, to try to get another 5 reps out of it. But then at that point, we're gonna drop that back down and by a plate all the way back down to 1. So just basically pyramid it up and then pyramid down, and that's just 1 set. Stay with me.
Come back. There you go.
Come on. Stay with me. So yeah, even with the lock and load technique, you may see like the form start to break down, but you know, even each week, even though you may not add a plate or anything like that, the reps will get cleaner. So next week, my execution will get better just because muscular endurance gets better, strength gets better. So, you know, that's what I love about this technique is that, you know, over time, even though you may not add a plate, you know, the execution of the rep gets better. So we're doing rack pulls right here. I prefer these right now over deadlifts just because I feel it more in my rectors and a little less in like my glutes and hamstrings. So just a personal preference. So we're gonna dig into these about a 8 to 10 rep range and about 3 sets. I feel that like if I'm kind of a little bit like pre-fatigued, I'm like, I don't know, mentally, you feel like you have to push more. So I've always done them this way. I never really started off with them. I always kind of put them at the end. So it's just kind of out of habit. that's the back workout for today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below.